Welcome to Case by Case.
We got that fire.
Yeah, I'm on a mission, mind in position. No witness, just a puzzle and a premonition. Facts hit the pavement, no hesitation. Reading between the lines, the investigation.
Case by case, got that fire. Fire. Case by case, got that fire.
Oh yeah.
Case by case, got that fire.
That's right, yeah, 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 yeah. Zooming on the details, got the magnifier. Digging through the dark, taking it higher. No room for doubt, no place to retire. Burning through the evidence, a digital pyre.
Case by case, got that fire.
Get it?
Case by case, got that fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Case by case, got that fire.
That's the one. Yeah, 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 yeah. A search engine's a weapon, a network's my stage. Flipping through the data, turning a new page. Daily digital footprints, a trail on the wire. Chasing down the truth, yeah, that's my desire. From the deep web's core to the public display, uncovering the secrets, putting them on full array. It's a digital trail, a modern day chase for the truth and the facts in this digital space. Yeah, like and subscribe. Another one down. Over and out.
Case by case, got that fire.
Welcome to Case.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Case by Case. Happy Saturday. You're new here, hit that like and subscribe if you like the content. Hello, everybody in chat. Tonight is going to be a chill conversation about all of the things that are going on, all of the things that are coming out. As you can see, I've got the homie with me over here. I've got the Yorkie at my feet. I've been running for the past 2 days, new laptop, new phone, trying to get everything done. And come here. And I feel like I've neglected them, so I had to leave the door open. My animals in this house have an issue with closed doors. So as soon as I close the door, they're knocking, they're scratching, they're knocking, they're whining. Anywho, let me welcome Woman and Shabooks as two new moderators to my channel. I hope you guys realize that you now have wrenches. And tonight I will have Great Lakes Fungi joining me. Hit that like and subscribe, please. And just some updates on what's going on. Of course, me and Quester will be back this week with the next episode of The Vault. Tonight, I plan on talking a little bit about the timed videos that we did last week on The Vault. And also to let you know that we have an upcoming show. I believe it's going to be on Tuesday with one of my team members here at Case by Case that you guys have never had the privilege of meeting before, but her and I we are now starting to research a new case. It's one of the longest running Amber Alerts in the history of the United States. It's a 25-year-old case about an abduction and a possible trafficking case. We don't know, but there is strong evidence to support that the child who was abducted when he was 8 years old is still alive. So we are putting together a nice presentation for you guys as a change of pace away from Delphi. I am supposed to have an update come Monday on Ashley's status. If you guys go out to my case and look at Ashley's case file and her docket, you will see we are now a little over 4 months in, waiting on the appellate court to rule on her post-conviction relief appeal. And I'm crossing my fingers that the organization who will be stepping in, regardless of what happens with the appeal case, but I'm hoping that the reason it's taking so long is that they are really reviewing the elements of her case. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about that tonight as well. And I'm going to kind of do some comparison. I hope you guys like the new intro. That was charismatically. So I appreciate him. He created that for me. And hopefully here soon, I'm going to have an intro video to go with it. And hope you guys are all hearing me okay. Hey, Travis, how are ya? Hey, Cherie. Oh, Cherie, I'm going to text you tonight or tomorrow about you and I making that trip again. So, hey, Shabugs with the wrench. Shabugs got the wrench. Welcome in all my mods. Welcome in everybody who's new here. Let me bring on my good friend, Great Lakes Fungi. Great Lakes, you're muted.
Oh, okay.
Now you're here.
Hi there.
What's up?
Only in theory.
Yeah. And I just want to warn you guys, the chirp, you're going to hear him. He's going to sound like a dying battery in a fire alarm, or he might just chime in. He does not speak on command. He interjects, if that makes any kind of sense. So, anywho, how's everybody doing? I hope tonight we can do a lot of interacting with the chat. We can answer some questions. I want to do some reviews of the video that we did on, what was it, last Tuesday? We have more timed walks coming up. Lindsay, you might just hear him talk. He might just tell all of you to squawk off. That's his new favorite word. Or he's going to howl like a wolf. He does what he wants to do. He's 27 years old and he's a trip for sure. So does anybody have, if you guys watched the timed walks last week, do any of you guys have any questions or a request to go back and look at something? And yeah, I know I was Andy Kopsa, I was 25 for like 10 years and my kids didn't even realize it. Every birthday cake said 25 and no one noticed. It's how important I was. Yeah, well, so he knows that I have, so before I tell anybody what's in this bowl, he gets two, let me talk good bird mom stuff. He gets 2 balanced diets a day. He gets a bowl of mixed seed and then he gets vegetables. And sometimes I add in apples. He likes apples. He cannot have avocado and he cannot have kiwi. Those are poisonous to him. And he cannot have white or yellow onions. He can have peppers, but not onions. So he always gets 2 meals a day. And then maybe 3 days a week, he gets a snack. So tonight he has a little bit of pizza with sausage and pepperoni, and he likes the bread. He loves bread. Don't ask me why. He does, but he's waiting patiently because he knows I have the bowl. So he's going to get in there, and I figured that would keep him quiet for a little bit. So, all right. Are you guys like all dying about All Eyes getting all of those documents? Like I could not get, I went to Best Buy yesterday and had to wait around because they didn't really have a lot of people working there to choose what I was going to get. I kind of had an idea. I'd been researching it. So anyway, by the time I got home, I seen Andy Cops's X drop. I was like, what? And I was ecstatic over 250 pages. I didn't realize there was 15 volumes coming behind it. So here I am in the kitchen last night trying to get this new laptop set up just to be able to access X and my Facebook group and all of that stuff. And then I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning reading until my eyes were crossing. And whoo, lot of information. Well, yeah, Nicole, mine too. And here, let me do this here real quick. Would you stop it? What do you want? Like, look, I have bribing gifts here in the room with me. These are nummies for her. And I've given her some and she doesn't want them. She wants up here on my lap. And then she's going to want to get up here on the table because she has no manners. And you would think that she has no home training, but she does. Anywho, yeah, today while I was working on trying to get, oh, and by the way, just to complicate my life even more, last Wednesday, I think I've told you guys this a million times, we have a complete remodel. This is a random story, but I never do random stories really. I just talk case stuff, so why not on a Saturday night? So at work, we've been doing a remodel throughout the whole entire building, and I'm talking bathrooms, break rooms, all different departments, yada, yada, yada. And so about 3 weeks ago, we had a contracted worker in the back of the building working in a bathroom, and he electrocuted himself to death. So now OSHA has come in and put the brakes on everything until that investigation is over. So we are without bathroom. Yes. Yes. So right in the middle of our bathrooms being like, it was supposed to be like a 30-day project to get the whole new remodels of the bathrooms done. So now we are stuck with everything outside. We have, don't get me wrong, they're nice. You know, they're really nice, air conditioned, beautiful. They look like freaking hotel rooms, to be honest. But we have to walk outside to go to the bathroom. And of course, pick me. My bathroom breaks are check my phone really fast and try to respond or do whatever. See what I'm missing the freaking day. Go ahead.
So do you have like an outhouse or do you have? I'm just curious. I'm just asking for a friend.
They're like trailers. They're big, white. They're like brand new. They're nice. Like there's 2 of them.
Oh, okay. That's not nearly as bad. We didn't have power for a week, and we were making do. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, they're air conditioned. They're modern. They've got it looks like hardwood floors. I know they're not hardwood floors, but they're nice. But you have to walk a ways to get out there. And when I walk outside, I have to walk down like 6 concrete steps. So while I'm, not paying attention to what I'm doing and I'm walking and trying to get in what I can get in, I drop my phone all the way down the stairs. Clickety clack, screen shatters. So not only did I have to buy a new laptop, but I had to buy a new phone.
Well, to be fair, it only takes like just one step to shatter a phone screen these days.
Well, I even had a screen protector. Like, I mean, it just took a massive fall, and I just knew it landed face down, and I was cussing everybody around me, and yes, woman, Rocky is 27 years old, and he'll live to be between 50 and 70, as long as he's fed correctly and taken care of. I mean, he gets plenty of sunshine. He goes outside almost every single day, except for in the winter. And then he's spoiled rotten. He's a little bit demanding. So anyway, I had to get a new phone. So you can imagine my dumbass in here trying to re-access my Google stuff, my Twitter, my YouTube, I ended up having to purchase a whole new Microsoft 365 program, getting all of that set up without any access to my old phone and my password.
Why would you purchase that? No, girl.
What do you mean?
Don't purchase. I'll talk to you after the stream about it. Okay. Anyways, but Andy said she wanted to see chickens, so I got to show her chickens.
Okay. Hell, why not?
1 second. I'm walking over.
I like the rooster. I like Travis.
His name's Trevor. He's gonna probably kill me someday. It's okay though. I've accepted it.
You've accepted
it. No, it's okay. Lots of love. Hey, Pop.
Yes, Travis, I will.
No.
You got to turn the camera on, lady.
I had it on, but my phone's going all weird. Come over here, booger.
He's got pizza all over his face. Come here. Come here. He will once he's done eating. Right now, he's looking at me like, really, you're going to interrupt me while I'm eating? Come here. You want to show him your mouth? Come here. Step up.
You guys suck.
He ain't going to do it. Wipe your mouth.
Not you.
Here. Wipe your mouth. He said, bro.
My man. Yeah, no, we're not going to get the chickens right now because Trevor's trying to get them inside.
Yes, Lindsay, he's an African gray.
Trevor puts.
He's not going to come see me. He's stuffing his face right now. I'll get him here in a minute. He's nice and clean too. He had a bath yesterday. So African grays are considered dry parrots. So they're like cockatoos, the big white birds with the crest. So their feathers create a dust. So like you really have to keep his cage clean. You've got to keep his perches clean because he's constantly cleaning his feathers and he takes that dust out. So like twice a month, especially when it's cold out, don't laugh. I put him in the shower with me. I'll put him up on the shower curtain rod. And then right before I get out, I get him down and I put him in the water and rinse him off. You can't have soap on him, but it just gets the overload of dust out. But in the summertime, he gets misted baths outside. Chester 22, you know what, at this point, it's not, the documents will only help if, now, and since, thank God we have Travis in the chat. And Travis, if you want a link, I'll drop it for you, or Cherie, you too, either one, or you both. The documents that just dropped are not really going to help Rick right now during his direct appeal. They would help if he lost his direct appeal and he had to go for a post-conviction relief. The ineffective assistance of counsel issue is really not at play right now. It's more so the rulings of the court and the things that took place in the courtroom, how the judge ruled, his civil rights being violated, that sort of thing. I am literally compiling a list of things. I've started going through I just want to give a shout out to Criminality for her work on the transcripts and the ability to listen with the AI voices. I am going hard at work listening, and it's so much better than I have a reader app on my phone. So I would have to upload each witness's testimony, their PDF, and listen. And it's like a robotic voice. This is a much more impactful, but I've been going through the trial transcripts, and already, like at work, I'm like jotting shit down, like the fact that Steve Mullins gets on the stands and he's talking about the Hoosier Harvest Store cameras. And he says, he went to the Hoosier Harvest Store on February 14th that evening because he was told they have cameras. And I have shown you that they had multiple cameras on that building. And we got the worst view without a video. We only got screenshots. And the defense never debated the timestamp on these screenshots. And Steve Mullins even states in his testimony, he took screenshots. The FBI went back, I believe, I have the document. It's on my other computer. So I'm still working on that, pulling things over. But the FBI went and collected it. I believe it was on the 17th. And who reviewed it and what happened to it? I'm assuming that it's in one of these massive discovery dumps that I'm still going through, trying to pinpoint what is what, because some things are not as cleanly described as others. But things like that. Oh, looky there.
There we go. That's for you, Andy.
They are so pretty.
This is actually, her name's Big Girl. We call her BG, but for obvious reasons, we're not going to call her BG today.
If she only knew.
Yeah, I love her. She's my favorite.
I know, she's always on your lap.
Sometimes. I think that we should make this clear. Did someone die in your house?
My house?
Yeah, people are asking in chat. I just wanted to make it clear.
No, at work.
I think it's haunted or something.
No. No. I was talking about why we have to go outside to use the bathroom in these trailers, because our remodeling frenzy at work has taken a pause due to the fact that an electrician came into our building to do rewiring work in the bathroom and electrocuted himself.
He's not very good at his job, is he?
No, I think
not anymore.
I think I was off that day, but I mean, so, OSHA has to come in and do their investigation. So the remodel is on hold. So that's how I had to go outside and drop my phone down 6 concrete stairs and shattered the shit out of it. So
then we had another question earlier. If you're ready, if you want to take it. Otherwise, I've been taking screenshots. Chester22 asked, quick question based on the new info released yesterday. The clothing found in the creek versus what was found on Abby. And I believe he's referring to the fact that, gosh darn it, one sec. Gosh. Sorry. I believe he's referring to the fact that there was like 3 sweatshirts or something, and then
yeah, I got it. I know what he's asking.
Jeans. Okay, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, Chester 22. Yes, he did pass away. Actually, one of my asset protection people was right there and attempted to do CPR, and it was a pretty big jolt of electricity. So it's unfortunate. It's sad. It was an accident. He was the only one, I guess, up there. He was up in a rafter somewhere when it happened. So Anywho, about the clothing. So the clothing that Abby had on, so throughout the testimony and the descriptions of the clothing, Abby had on a regular woman's bra, a female bra that fit her. It wasn't an oversized bra. It was a regular bra. And over top of that was a sports bra, which is not uncommon with young girls. So that is where the two bras come in. Then she had on her maroon, like I would call it like a cami type shirt, the maroon one that you've seen in the BG video. And then she had on over top of that Libby's sweatshirt. And then she had on no underwear and Libby's jeans, no socks, and a pair of Converse. So the clothes that were found in the creek were, trying to remember, we have the tie-dye shirt. We had one of Libby's shoes. And then separate from that area, we had, I believe, a pair of underwear and Abby's jeans and Abby's her gray sweat jacket. Yes. So Travis is kind of reiterating what I just said about the Chester 22's questions about the new drop of documents. He says, Michael mentioned that IAC, along with other issues, are not dealt with on direct appeals in Indiana. Cannot argue with that. But in another case, I don't recall, did research on an IAC of half trial. Hey, All Eyes, how are you? You know what, lady? You are incredible. You really busted a move on getting all those documents, girl. Part 2 of Travis's post is IAC of trial counsel was brought up on one specific issue of IAC. So I mean, I don't know. I guess
we don't know about the headscarf.
Yeah, the headscarf I don't believe was ever tested. They said it was a green, old, like dirty scarf that it was worn, that had probably been out in the elements for a long time. So I think that that's kind of a no-go. The one thing that is really frustrating listening to, the more you listen to it, and I really recommend all of you go and listen to, because I'm not going to read all those trial transcripts. I will like debate them. I do plan on doing a rebuttal, but I have to like digest things a lot. So I know that it's embedded in my brain. And the more I listen to the trial transcripts, the more aggravated I get. For example, you've got all of these individuals testifying to going out there under the bridge on the private drive, getting out, walking along the creek bank, and searching. And yet none of them find the belt. And that belt was a small size belt. It was, I do have on good advice where I was shown where the belt was found. And I've shown that image, and I know that Anna was shown the belt, and she could not say for sure whether it was or whether it wasn't Abby's. So ineffective assistance of counsel, like, the direct appeal there, I think that there's a massive amount of information that the appellate team has to work with. But I do know that they are going, they're going to probably get quite a bit of it in, but not everything. That, they're going to have to prioritize their strong suits from, their strengths all the way down, because they're limited on how many words or pages they're allowed to submit. They're probably going to request for more, an expansion on how big they can make the appeal. So, and if you guys think that, oh my God, we just had another extension, this is going to be drug out. There's no doubt in my mind, this is going to be drug out for forever. And we haven't even gotten to the state yet, seeing the appellate team's briefs, and then they're going to come back and ask for an extension.
Another question Amy Lou had. 1 sock and 1 pair underpants were missing, as I recall. So 3 socks and 1 pair underpants must have been in the creek.
Yeah, there's a pair of underwear missing, and I believe there are, I want to say 2 socks missing, or 1 sock. I know that there's 2 socks that were found that were not a match, and we just don't know if I had teenagers. I know that they don't always match. They don't ever match their socks. They could give 2 craps. So, hey,
you can match your socks?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Then another one was Chapter 22 asked, what about the cleared tip timeline and where Rick Park, it matches what he originally said?
It does.
Which is ridiculous. Bruh.
Michael says, or I'm sorry, Travis says, Chester, I'll get to that. Have to go with Michael on the IAC of Indiana. Cherie and I looked into IAC of Appellate Counsel in Wisconsin. You cannot raise ineffective assistance of counsel of appellate counsel on post-conviction because you are not entitled to counsel in Wisconsin. And see, that is the one, and see, that's different here in Indiana, because in Indiana, unlike most states, so let's say Rick Allen loses his direct appeal. If he does not have funds to retain a hired defense attorney, and he is going to move forward with his post-conviction relief, the state of Indiana will provide him with a public defender. But it's pretty much like on a first come, first served basis. We went through this, and this is kind of why I think I'm a little bit well versed in it, because I went through this learning the process with Ashley's case. He will go on a waiting list, and he will be assigned. So, and just because he's a high profile case doesn't mean he's going to get pushed to the front of the line either. And you really don't get a say on who picks up your case. Although I do believe that within the public defender's office, they kind of have each attorney has their own specialty or forte that they like to work on. So, but not every state provides a public defender for post-conviction relief. If you lose your direct appeal, you are pretty much stuck with either you're going to have to hire an attorney, someone's going to have to do pro bono work for you, or you're going to have to go pro se, which means you're going to have to file as representing yourself. And yes, KO, there's always a shortage of public defenders. So I don't expect to see any ineffective assistance of counsel raised on the direct appeal at all. I think it's going to be more about the rulings in the courtroom. I think it's going to have, you're going to see a lot in there about the fact that Judge Gall held no hearings. It's going to be about her rulings, especially on the safekeeping order, how that all went down, the third-party suspect ruling. So
not allowing the FBI agent to come in via tele.
There's a lot. They have a lot. And that's what I think that they're going to be focusing on. So Travis says that it's pretty standard that in a direct criminal appeal that both sides request and get at least 130-day extension each. It's pretty much a given. And back to Chester 22's question, that where he parked, I've listened to his interview numerous times, and it's very clear he's not 100% certain about where he parked. And the biggest issue we have now is that geographically, that area is changed. And there are 2 areas over there on the other side of Freedom Bridge where he could have parked that he described. And it makes literally no sense for him to pass both of those areas and go all the way around to the CPS building, either coming in through town or going the back random way that law enforcement was trying to convince him he did. And they just kept talking over him and talking over him. And matter of fact, let me see something here. Fungi, chat it up for just 1 second.
Yes, of course. Anyways, remember to like and subscribe. I believe that is what the kids are saying these days. Yeah, so this is, there's a lot to go through today. For me, what was probably the funniest thing that I read, and I haven't read that much so far, but the funniest thing for me was Elvis Field doesn't know his own grandkid's name, allegedly. Well, I mean, according to court records, which is, I'm not sure how one can manage that. And then he was done. Oh, yeah, sorry. Keep going.
No, I'm saying I'm listening to you while I'm searching for this. I call bullshit.
Well, then he was asked, "Oh, so do you not have a relationship with your daughter? Because that's the kid's mother." He's like, "No, I have a relationship with her. I have an ex." And it's like, so this makes no sense. Oh, and then he also doesn't know why he's on disability, which is impossible. I'm just gonna say it's impossible. I have a lot of experience with acquiring. Sorry, my barn cat's making noises. Anyway, I have a lot of experience with acquiring, with going through the disability stuff myself. Just and you have to go through at least like a bunch of it. You have to go through at least 5 interviews. Literally, in all of them you're explaining what is your disability. So like the exact question that he was unable to answer. So can we all like tag Social Security for asking to look into some fraud here? Because that's
not only that, but he didn't know. Not only did he not know his grandson's name, he didn't even know the race of his daughter's husband or the baby's father.
Yeah, no, that's no, he would if he was involved with the Vinlanders. That's something he actually, because that's something they give a crap about.
But he claimed he didn't.
Yeah, no, sorry, Elvis.
Right.
Not sorry.
Okay, hang on. I'm still getting there, guys. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, KO, you got it. He does not know what disability he has. It's just like there's just so much you have to do. You have to go to a doctor. You have to go. Like, he could be collecting on a mental disability, but he would have a pretty good idea that he has this mental disability. Kara said it takes. Travis says, I haven't tracked the time it takes to do a double text appeal in Indiana. I'm not sure what that means. I think Kara W said somewhere that it's about a year from start to opinion. Yeah, you have to see a psychiatrist, but you're going to actually have like documented, you have to have documented proof, the fact that what you're doing is, or what you have, what your disability is, impacts being able to work. So what happened to me, because I have a narcolepsy with cataplexy. In case you didn't know, it's basically I fall asleep spontaneously and uncontrollably sometimes. So, but what I had to do is I had to eventually go in front of a judge, and the judge, there's like an assessor guy who's over there too. Like you have to bring proof that like, okay, this is like just how, yeah, it's very tough to get. Like Robin said here, it's not easy. And I had to go in front of a judge, and there's an assessor guy next to him. And so I explain all the stuff, and and then the assessor has to pick out like 7 jobs or whatever that he thinks that I could do, gives them to the judge. The judge goes over them and says, no, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that, or can do that. And then, then the assessor's given like one more try. So it gives them like 3 to 5 more jobs. And if those don't work, then yeah. And there's a lot of people who claim that fraud is a huge issue because, I mean, I had to go to I don't think when he got it, they were doing this, but I had to go to like a little class for mine. And there was a dude who, he had a helper there, helping him hold a pencil wallet. But after the class, he goes out and I see him like taking a smoke break outside, and he's like perfectly fine. His dexterity is perfect. And I go back in and I'm like telling the instructor guy, hey, that's kind of interesting. Because that happens a lot. But yeah, no, yeah. Anyways, I will let Amy take it over. This is my filler.
Love you. Thank you. So talking about back to what Chester was talking about is about where Rick parked. Just to give you guys context of the idea that somebody who, I mean, we have to look at this one or two ways. If you were to believe the state story, only one or two things happened. This was he lost his shit, went out to the trails hunting someone, and he came locked and loaded. You know, he had his whatever blades that he was carrying, his gun. It appeared that, you know, Bridge Guy had something in his coat beyond a gun and a knife. It looked as though he had something stuffed down in his coat or in a fanny pack, whatever. And that he would go way out of his way all around town to avoid cameras to park where they claimed he parked at the CPS building. You're going to have to stop. Hang on one second. I'm going to kick her out of here. Go on. She'll be back in 10 minutes barking at the door. But then and we went over this on Tuesday. We showed the video of the walk that he would have had to have made from the CPS building down the side of the road up to Freedom Bridge, which if he would have parked where he said he thought he parked, which was on the other side of Freedom Bridge, all he would have had to do was walk up the path to Freedom Bridge, which is a much shorter path, much faster walk, and he would have crossed Freedom Bridge to enter the trails, which is where it's my understanding when Kathy Allen took Bob Mata out there to the trails to show him where Rick parked, he parked where he had to come across Freedom Bridge. So it makes no sense they needed him to go past the Hoosier Harvest Store camera is what they needed. I personally believe they needed him to go past the Hoosier Harvest Store camera because they had one real solid time out of the Hoosier Harvest Store camera. And that was the photo timestamp at the bench on the trail of the 4 girls, the 126 photo. They could work backwards or forward from that to align the timestamp with the Hoosier Harvest Store camera up with someone parking at the CPS and walking down the road up to the trail system and entering the trail to make it fit their narrative. But what we didn't look at last Tuesday was the route that they claimed that he went when he left. Now, this is a video that was done that we haven't time-stamped yet or incorporated, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, that a local made for me. And she's planning on going back out because we're now going to do some other timestamps of these routes and interactions on the trails, mainly to prove that it is almost impossible. It would have to be like a freak of nature, luck of fate, that Betsy Blair never passed Bree Wilbur and Voorhees with the 4 girls. So we're gonna work on that timed walk in that route. But this is going to show you the state's bridge guy, muddy, bloody route. If he was to leave out of the woods via the cemetery, and we don't know exactly where the state claimed he exited the woods, but coming up that ridge line and you follow the worn path, it really does take you right to the cemetery. Otherwise, he would have had to have crossed through this big field that you're going to see on the left-hand side. But look at this brazen walk that a muddy, bloody guy would have had to have made, walking dead smack towards all of the family members who were parked not only in the Mears lot, but out along the side of the road on 300. He would have been walking directly towards them. And another and let me throw this in here too, just a notation on detail in the trial transcripts. I was very frustrated listening to the line of questioning by the defense team, especially with the crime scene technicians, based on them asking them why they didn't go up to 300 North and scour that area for an escape route, or go over behind the Mears property or over behind the Hoosier Harvest Store building in case there was an escape route that way. And I understand they wanted to get that information in front of the jury, but it was a lot of wasted words without a point when they knew coming up was going to be Sarah Carball on the stand, who would prove that when the crime scene technicians were out there on the 14th and the 15th, no one knew about Sarah Carball as a witness because she didn't come forward until much later. Remember? She stopped because the police were sitting out there along 300 asking people who were going by if they had any information, and she decided to come forward. And it wasn't even until, I believe, her third interview that she actually stated bloody. Her first interview, she claimed he was muddy 11 times. And then her second interview, she claimed he was muddy 13 times. And then by her third interview, which I believe was almost a year after her second, she said he was muddy, bloody, like he had slaughtered a pig. But this muddy, bloody guy who drove all the way around town to avoid cameras and to avoid being seen, chose this path of all. Woo-hoo. Hold on.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, he chose this path.
You can't have it both ways. I mean, either he wants to be stealthy or he doesn't.
Right. But here's the path. If you were exiting the cemetery and you're walking out to 300 and turning left, walking towards Mears, walking towards the Hoosier Harvest Store, this is.
And remember the seasonal differences.
I believe the cornfield would have been cut down at that point in February.
Oh, absolutely. It would have been covered with snow and everything and then melted, and so everything would be completely flat. Like they cut the corn in fall. Early fall sometimes.
So out here,
Bezo.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You go. Oh,
I'm saying
okay. So Bezo Jones, I feel like Sarah kind of discredited herself by being kind of argumentative. I'll be honest. I'm not sure the defense. I think you could have put anyone in the defense situation, and she just wouldn't have come up looking golden. I'm sorry. All right, you go ahead, Amy.
No, I'm saying if you guys take note too to the width of the road, I mean, you really do. If you were driving and there was another oncoming vehicle, I mean, you would have to pay attention to where you guys were on the road, because the road is the road is very narrow. So she claimed that she was heading east, which is she would be coming towards us in the video, and Muddy Bloody Guy was walking the opposite direction. And literally the map, and I apologize because I ended up reading all these, trying to read through some. I didn't even get a quarter of the way through last night, but I didn't get to pull in everything that I wanted to pull in on this new laptop. And if you look at the map that Sarah Carball marked at trial, she pretty much claimed that she interacted, or she passed Muddy Bloody Guy at the halfway mark here. But as you can see further in the distance, there's trees. And right past these trees, and we're going to walk up on it here, we're going to walk right up to the Mears lot, and we're going to pass the Mears farm, which will be on the right-hand side. This is the distance out in the wide open. They want us to believe Rick Allen walked down after killing 2 little girls, muddy and bloody, yet there's no blood in his vehicle. I mean, I do not believe whoever did this was their exit path. And there's also right across, if I'm not mistaken, diagonally across from the CPS building, Anderson's has cameras on their building. You know what sees through? That's what they say, that they identified the vehicle. There are, I really have a hard time believing that they did a lot of investigating on the vehicles. And I have on good word from somebody with that, a local who's connected to law enforcement, that many people who were communicating with law enforcement back in the early time frame, that they had identified all of the vehicles on the Hoosier Harvest Store camera. And if law enforcement,
so where does Rick's come from?
Right. But I mean, can you guys, just put yourself in, you have to use reason. You have to use reasonable thinking here. Somebody who has no criminal history, wife, child, works in the community. Let's say he commits this crime. Okay, let's just say hypothetically he committed this crime. Do you not find yourself in a frenzied state after the fact? Like, the 3 cans of beer wore off, and now what he's done is resignating, and he's cool, calm, and collective, not running down this road, not acting frantic, not crossing through, no one's saying that they seen anybody crossing through one of these plowed down cornfields.
Get my car out if it gets
and in order to get behind Mears, he would have had to have done just that. And then he would have had to have went behind the Hoosier Harvest Store. But stop and think about the view from the Hoosier Harvest Store camera. It is a wide lens view from the side of the building. Now here's Mears. So he would have had to have gone all the way back behind the Mears farm. And nobody would have seen him back there.
I mean, you'd at least see him in the field, wouldn't you, when he's going around?
I'm saying,
Robin, that was the video that was talking.
And then he would have to continue through more of the field to go back behind the Hoosier Harvest Store camera. But you know what? He would have popped out. He would have had to have come back out from the Hoosier Harvest Store camera.
Yeah,
and I believe that camera would have captured
right here
him.
is super easy to get around.
And we're going to go over this list of discovery in the cameras.
I plan to go in here on Sunday.
Now, this is the gate at Mears. Now,
right
I want you
there,
guys, because we're going to talk about this too. Look at
Or you
this
could
lot.
come over it, but I think I'll just go
I don't think
around
she
it.
pans over. But I have another
You can
visual
go
of
around
it.
this tree right here. or
But that was the Mears
just duck under there or
entrance, and
something.
that gate
Get
used to
around
be
that pretty
open.
easy.
But this is where everybody was parked, along the side of the road. They were parked in there on that gravel lot. I mean, just because Rick
That's a nice
Allen
little
was
hiding
familiar
spot
with the
beside that
trail
that tree.
doesn't mean that he was familiar with back behind Mears
I
Farm
don't
and that
see
wooded
how
area back there. And
None of the
there is
families
still
saw
a
him.
long distance to go to
They're
pass
just
the Hoosier
here.
Harvest Store camera.
By what, 3 o'clock? There's no way. There's no way.
Hey,
I need
Cryptex.
to sit down and actually read the transcripts myself instead of listening to them. Might stick a little better. I'm 46 and I don't smoke. I have
April?
health issues, but not
Yeah.
anything like
There's
heart
no
or
way
anything like
Muddy
that.
Bloody Guy
And I'm
walked
telling
this
you what,
route and wasn't seen by Derek
no
German.
way did Richard Allen do this alone.
And we just
There's no
lost.
way.
All right, she'll pop back in.
I mean, I don't think he did it at all, period. But not, it wasn't done alone. There's no way.
I can't hear the narration. Why can't I hear it? Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know enough about heart issues to know if the stent would impact someone. Does anyone else know for sure if that would impact? I mean, obviously, heart issues does impact like your ability to
Muddy Bloody Guy
be active and stuff.
definitely
But
would have been
Oh,
caught
here
on
we go.
these cameras. There's no way he was not.
Now this is the Hoosier Harvest Store camera
There's cameras all
that we're getting
over
ready
this
to
building.
pass. And if you look where that garage door is, to the left, upper left-hand corner of that door frame, there is a camera there. And that camera was there the week of the homicides. There is a news reporter who is standing out
The storage
underneath
unit's in the
that
back.
camera talking about law
Security
enforcement
cameras all over
retrieving
there.
footage from this building. We never heard that camera didn't work. We never heard that the timestamp on that camera was wrong or right. Right there it is, that camera right there. So why did we not get footage from that camera? And if that camera didn't work, why weren't we told that? Or would that camera show too distinctly the make and models of cars? She's pretty brazen here. She's walking right down the side of the Hoosier Harvest Store building. And right there is the camera. That camera or the other one. There's a one further back. And I'm not quite sure which one of those two cameras we actually have screenshots from. But there.
You're watching
Amy,
the legal breakdown.
make sure
when
that
it looks
you're
like
muting the
Donald
video
Trump's
when-
DOJ is now interfering in an effort to get some exposure, some
Hello?
clarity as it relates to Epstein.
It's
Can you
gone.
explain what just happened?
I can't
Brian,
hear the
the
video. I don't know
cover-up
why.
continues.
Yeah, no, it's
And,
on really
you know,
loud.
the leader of the
It's- yeah, so
cover-up
make sure that you're
effort
muting the
is
video
Department of
whenever-
Justice.
Yeah, make sure that you're muting it
acting
whenever
on
you're
behalf of
talking,
Donald Trump.
because it's loud.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, no, just some people were saying that he had a hard time talking, but someone made a really, really good point in chat, how, heart issues would make you breathe really heavily, and we didn't hear any super heavy breathing in Bridge Guy video, did we?
No, not at that point. But we also didn't hear a gun cock. We also didn't hear that be a gun. And I really don't know if someone in Bridge Guy's position would have racked a gun, kicked out a bullet from his gun, and then would have stopped and picked up the unspent round. He would just, snap his fingers and that unspent round would fly clear across the creek and end up exactly where the crime scene was.
Anything's possible when you're in the Twilight Zone.
So what do you guys want to talk about next? I've got the walk that we did, the full video. Yeah. Well, Chester 22, we just don't know about no DNA on the bullet. It was never, from what I have seen, and if All Eyes is still in here, she's got a memory like an elephant. She would know. I have never seen a statement where they claim there's no DNA on the bullet. They stated there's no DNA that matches Rick Allen. There's a difference, and it's all about the wording. And if you listen to my, I nitpick. No trace DNA on the bullet, All Eyes says. So there you go. I like to nitpick things, especially wording. So in the crime scene technician, I believe it's Paige. And this is where I kind of got a little bit confused, is him discussing them using it's called something else, but it's like luminol, and they use a blue light, and I believe they do it. I thought the way that he made it sound to me was that they did it twice. They did it on the 14th when the bodies were still there, and they did it on the 15th when the bodies were removed. But I noticed that every single time he went to discuss the bullet or the area around the bodies, he was redirected immediately by the prosecutors. They did not want him to go into detail on that. Now, the other thing that I do know, and I discussed this before about the supplemental reports. We do have a supplemental report where the officers who were at the autopsy on the 15th notate in their report that they had received, I believe it was a text message, that they had found a bullet at the crime scene along with a phone. And I need to go back and pull that up. Again, I got to pull all this crap over to this new laptop. And
All Eyes is replying, yeah.
Yeah, CSIs went back on the 15th and the 16th, according to their testimony. And they were there several times. And if you guys remember, during one of the vault sessions that we did, I was talking about deciphering the words and how a witness can be coached to testify. And I'm really hell-bent on deciphering if anyone during the trial claims or shows a photograph of the bullet with Libby's foot in the photograph, and you can see the bullet in that photograph, not indicating this is where the bullet was found. And because there are so many leaves and debris on the ground, because the photograph that Jerry Holman has, yes, you still got your wrench, Michael. The photograph that Jerry Holman lays on the table in the interrogation interview, I'm sorry, but I don't believe that you can see the bullet. He can indicate there where they found the bullet, but I do not think you can see the bullet. And what I'm wondering is if because think about it. He claimed that they did this yellow rope grid all around the outside of ground, what they called, ground zero, the core part of the crime scene. And then before moving in closer to the bodies, they did a very good ground search. Then they laid down a tarp. So that means that tarp had to have covered the bullet. The bullet, if they want us to believe that bullet was there. But is it possible they found the bullet the next day? And based on where it was found, they were able to go back and look at their crime scene photos and say, okay, well, this is where we found the bullet. And we believe it was roughly 6 inches from where Libby's foot had been. And the reason I say that is because we know for a fact that Barbara McDonald sat on court TV when the Franks memo came out and had intimate knowledge about the sticks on the girls and how law enforcement had described those sticks to her and told her how they were, what the formation was. And she even made a drawing. Might not have been exact, but she had a very good knowledge about the sticks. Then I also have her on another interview stating that law enforcement told her that they went back several days later and found the bullet. Now, would they have lied to her? And, that's my, that door is open for me. Just like the door is open for me on the police scanner. And I know what the transcripts on that police scanner say. And I know what the timestamp is when they call for a medic for Brad German, who might be having a heart attack, when he finds out the girls had been discovered and he almost keels over and has a heart attack. And it is well before 11:45 or 12 o'clock. It's more, I believe, around 10:30 in the morning. I do believe the girls were found earlier.
I just don't get why they would push it back. I don't get what they gain from that.
I don't either. And, a year ago.
Is it important?
A year ago, a year ago, before just combing through everything, I don't want to say I was a staunch defender of the family. I was an empathetic towards the family because, you just don't want to believe that something like this is possible.
I think we all want to be empathetic still. I don't think anyone wants to believe that the family knows something or something.
And Michael Osbrook, you're right. Unless you get someone to testify the girls were found earlier, the issue is going nowhere. And my frustration around that is the fact that, you've got both sides of this case, Abby's side and Libby's side of the families, both supporting law enforcement, regardless to how many screwed up things have come out and surfaced about the handling of these girls' deaths investigation. I would not. I would be livid. I would be livid. And, the simple fact that I understand they still have to live there in Delphi and, life can get very complicated. As we all know, a lot of people around that area, that they all want to be hush hush. I can't tell you how many people communicate. And it's all cryptic. They want me to know things, but they don't want to give names or full details. They want me to go on down a rabbit hole. And I can't do that. Hey, Mother of Dragons. But that police scanner is very telling. And when you look at that morning, the people that were being turned away, including Brad German, being told, no, go back. This area has already been searched. And the whole area right there around the crime scene was being coordinated off because they supposedly had dogs searching. And then all of a sudden, all of law enforcement and the fire department, people are gone. And then all of a sudden, searchers are allowed to go in. And not only do they go in, but they find the clothes, and none of them can get a hold of law enforcement. Long enough that there were several phone calls made, and then Pat Brown was contacted and drove over to the cemetery.
Whoa.
Parked his car.
Do you see what Michael just said? It is true that Libby's phone is doing things as late as 10-something in the morning of the 14th.
I believe it.
What? What things? I clearly haven't read this part yet.
No see-through. Her phone did not die at 4:33 a.m. Her phone woke up. And her phone connected to a Wi-Fi network right after a boatload of iMessages and text messages came through.
I'm sorry I interrupted your thought before. That was just, Michael just kind of dropped a bomb on me. I realize it's probably somewhere hidden in those documents, though. But I don't. No, it never died, see-through.
No, it did. I believe it. I believe the
phone
was dead. Yeah, I believe it was dead when they recovered it.
But it was doing things as late as 10-something that morning. So
Michael said he's going to pull up the report. Okay, so let's let me see here because we still have, I've got a lot of these documents uploaded, but another thing that I wanted to talk about that we're going to be doing well, we know David Erskine was on the other side of the creek when the girls were found. He was the fireman that was alerted to the clothes being in the water. Then I forget, Jake Johns and Shane, who had traveled in. Hey, Robin, thanks for being a member for 5 months. Oh, speaking of, I got some memberships to give out tonight. They attempted to cross the creek, but the creek was too, and that's another thing. If you guys go back, Fungi does a great demonstration and explanation about the levels of the water in Deer Creek that day. And stop and think about who better to tell us what the conditions were of that creek that day and the day before than the water rescue team. Why didn't the defense put one of them on the stand to describe the height of the water, the current, the temperature, and how difficult it was for them to navigate in that water? I mean, picture Abby. I mean, Abby was teeny tiny. She might have been 5'4", but I mean, a fast current would have taken her out.
Well, the fast current is your escape. You got the bridge right there. It's your escape. I did the demonstration of the water level type thing, I think is what.
Cryptex, yes. Fungi did. I forget which episode it is. I think it's notated in the description. But it was a really thorough demonstration and presentation on the water conditions that day. Based on well, I'll let you tell them. Fungi.
Oh yeah, it's basically based on rules of wading that people use. Basically, people who go fly fishing and that kind of stuff, they kind of use it to judge, should I be wading in this water? Okay, Broniska says that locals knew about. Oh yeah, and one sec. So yeah, and so we determined what the flow was and what the height probably was based on some other readings further upstream. And because, it's going to have the same amount of water going, if it narrows, then it's probably going to be deeper. in fact, and then if it widens, it'll be shallower. So we kind of were able to talk about that too. Veronica says locals knew about a metal detector finding an unspent round in the ground. The crime scene was closed off. She also suggested that what if there's two unspent rounds? Why? Hence why it was closed for a second time. Well, all I have to say is it looked like that might have been a shooting range right there, so would make sense.
Well, there was a deer stand there, and there in that area. Also, there was a trail cam up by Logan's, and obviously the one that we heard about at trial. So, I mean, we will never know, but just if you listen to the transcripts or you read them, you will notice how they are very definitive about confining the witness to discussing the bullet. And how, I mean, if you listen to everybody that was in the courtroom, and unfortunately, I listen to those who defend, who defend civil rights and a fair trial. I listened to Andrea Burkhart, Lawyer Lee, Bob Mata. All of them felt that the crime scene technicians did a fantastic job of photographing the crime scene. There were hundreds of photos, the angles, the overview of the crime scene, yet we get to the bullet and there's not Jack. That's very telling. That is,
yeah. And Michael, it's not completely true that if water was roaring, you wouldn't have been able to see. It really depends on turbidity. And in the area that they would have crossed, there would have been a lot more turbidity. It would have been a lot less clear because, I mean, you have all those little sandbars kind of in the middle. And so that kind of chops things up. Debris will also do it too. Having rain several days before, that's going to also turn that water more opaque.
Thank you, Mother of Dragons. Really appreciate that. Not to mention, it had the snow melting.
That would have brought sediment into it, and so that could have definitely turned things up and made it hard to see fish. But if fish are coming toward the surface, you're going to see them anyway. But I honestly am not completely sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's not impossible.
Right. Hey guys, we got about 160 people watching. Let's hit that like button, please. It really helps. Subscribe if you haven't already. That helps also. It's all free. Please and thank you.
Subscribe or I'll feed you to my chickens.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. What next here?
It wasn't tested for creek water. Michael says if the girl's clothing is still available at some point, it needs to be tested for creek water. To which I say it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. And there's really hardly no indicators in any of their reports, the crime scene technicians report, about the condition of the clothes. And the continued word that was used in the trial to describe the girls, to describe Abby's clothes, were damp. Now, don't make us in February, on a night where the temperature is comparable to what it was the night of the 13th and the early hours of the 14th, put out a pair of wet jeans outside and see what the condition of them are the next day.
I volunteer.
They really do once again veer away from that topic.
That's telling. Yeah. Yeah, the sticks not being collected is just It makes me want to throw my phone.
Well, the fact that they left them. Travis says, whoop, wait a minute, where'd it go? There we go. Won't speak for Michael, but I think he was aware of phone facts at the beginning of the year. Did the documents that just dropped, were those the exhibits attached to the Franks or other motions? I think most of them, a lot of them are from the Franks memo. And I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks to get down there, because I want to go in to the courthouse and view the videos that they say you have to come in and view in person. And I'll take notes. I'm sure they will watch us like a hawk. You know, can't slip your phone out and videotape.
Distract them with the chicken. Hawks love chickens.
Let me see. I still think the cell towers, the Google use on RA's phone, etc., would clear RA. That info has to be available, and that he was watching stocks. Well, nursing the truth. I mean, his phone data, I have been told, is in one of the cell phone tower dumps. But what the result of that is, we don't know. And if you go back and you listen to his interrogation video, he doesn't really clearly say he was watching stocks while he was on the trails. He said he had a stock app on his phone, and that may have been the reason why he went home when he did, was because he might not have been getting service, and he wanted to get on the computer, which is another thing that, you know, you would have thought we would have had information on. You know, if he's logging, if he's on his computer and he's logging in and out of accounts, there would be some sort of timestamp of that.
Michael doesn't think that they're going to get another 60 days for their appeal. I'd love to know why.
I would not doubt it. To be honest, there's nothing would surprise me.
That sucks.
So come here. You gonna come here? Come here.
Oh, that's right. It could have been a widget. That's true. They do have those.
You gonna say hi? Now he's done eating, guys.
This bird. So look at him.
Say hi. You gonna say hi? You gonna be nice? Or you gonna be mean? Huh? You gonna say hi? Yeah, nothing would surprise me about the appellate team being cut short. And then I wouldn't also be surprised if we see the state get more leniency. Are you going to say hi? You see yourself right there? Do you see yourself? He says, yeah. I put him in front of the mirror and he says nothing.
Did you read what Michael just said? The Court of Appeals prides itself on being the rocket docket. We may get him wrong, but we get him wrong fast.
There you go. Here. Now he doesn't.
The parrot and the rooster did try to meet before the stream started, and the rooster just ran away.
Oh yeah, definitely you can bird sit, because nobody. Now he's taking a drink of water. He is, believe it or not, I'm the one, like, I'm his caretaker. I handle him. I feed him. I make sure he gets all of his playtime, all of his toys. He's spoiled by me, but he prefers Mike. And so when I go on vacation, I'm very hard pressed to find a bird sitter. No one wants to keep him because he can be an ass. He really can. Bird's going to pick up some Delphi topic word. What will it be?
Wrong.
Wrong. His favorite commentary right now is when we're having a conversation in the house or in the other room. He'll yell "squawk off," like he's saying "f off," and he says it very intensely. Squawk off. He'll say, "Mike, Mom, squawk off." But of course, he's not going to say it right now. He probably would talk if I got up and left the room. Yeah. Hey. So, okay, let's get back on track here, guys. The one of the things that I wanted to bring up was what did you guys think of the timed walks that we did on Tuesday? Did you see anything in those that really really kind of was shocking as far as the timing goes, other than the fact that we have no explanation as to why Betsy Blair being seen leaving on the Hoosier Harvest Store camera when she's seen leaving at 1:15 and returning at 1:46 when the drive to the library and
which has a camera.
Oh yeah, let's bring that up. Here we go. Here's another doozy from last night that me and Quester found these. So this is a list of Discovery discussing the cameras around the area. And I'm going to have to get really close to the screen here. So let me take my camera off so I don't scare anybody. Okay, so because the print is really small. So we have digital imaging and video recovery team. Files associated with this case. Files include the Delphi, Indiana brick and mortar, Carroll County. These are cameras where they recovered footage. Now, it doesn't specify what the date is that they're saying that they have this footage from. I'm assuming it would be the 13th. That would be the only thing that made sense. Well, to a logical person anyway. We have the brick and mortar, the Carroll County Jail, camera from City Hall, courthouse. Are you ready for this? Crime scene cameras 1 and 4 and 6. Camera from CVS.
For us?
Yeah. I'm assuming this might be a dump of cameras that they may have put out there after the crime scene or after the murders to see if they catch anybody out there, which I'm sure they did. I'm sure they also caught people out there on camera handling sticks. Danny's Auto Shop, the Delphi Citco, Dollar General, Delphi Dollar General in Flora, drone video, the FFB ATM, the FFB drive-through, hard drive files, Hoosier Harvest Store, ISP trail cameras, library, the library, guys, Mitchell's Mexican Grill, Office Tavern, other forms of DVRs for systems not downloaded, Pearson's apartment, pending collection, Carroll County Courthouse, Delphi Public Library, again, First Financial, here's a special one, Marathon Gas Station, McDonald's.
I'm going to put these on a map.
Sunoco, Pizza King, Save-A-Lot, Security Federal Credit Union, Shell, Sunoco Gas Station, Transfer Station, True Value, Viewing Number 1, Wallman's, Walmart, Lafayette. That's just one paragraph of cameras that they turned over to the defense. Now, I don't know if Michael wants to speak on that, But if we have video from the library and it's listed twice, I started to pin these on a map. I just didn't, it needs to be done in a better way. To visually, I would really like to do like one where we have like a street view. But I mean, think of all of the people, all of the third-party suspects that could have been seen coming or going. For example, Ron Logan. There's another dump too, where we have a camera that is over by Mears. Where's that property at that we were talking about, Fungi?
The Ross Lara, or I think it was Ross, Laramore property. I still need to look for that real. We talked about that. I have not looked at that yet. Oh, Michael says we don't have the video from the library. I'm guessing the defense lawyers do. If someone would like to tell them not to treat me like a pariah, I'd be happy to take a peek.
Well, the purpose of that list was the fact that Betsy Blair's so this is where this is what we're trying to figure out. So based on the Fitbit data, we believe by dissecting the Fitbit data is that when Betsy Blair goes to leave the trail, and that's another thing that we're going to do on the net. I want to have done is the timed walk is Betsy Blair, her initial arrival time passing the Hoosier Harvest Store camera at 12:02. And we've timed it on the map. Now doing the speed limit. Now Betsy Blair's an older woman. I can't imagine that she'd be hauling ass down 300 North to get to the Mears lot to go on her route. But it takes approximately 30 seconds from passing the Hoosier Harvest Store camera to make it to the Mears lot. So when you take the timestamps that we've been given off the Hoosier Harvest Store camera, courtesy of the state, we have Betsy Blair arriving at 2:02, and then we know based on her third loop how long it took her to make that loop that she testified that she made at trial. Now, when we look at her Fitbit data, after doing her second loop, there is a discrepancy of about 15 minutes of her actually departing and being seen on the Hoosier Harvest Store camera from where her Fitbit data stops reporting activity as if she got in her vehicle. But when she's driving, you see low activity on that Fitbit because her wrist is still moving and you're seeing a minimal amount of activity. So if you guys remember back when we started this timeline with the vault, Quester making a joke about the fact that even though she's out on the trails amongst great many acres of woods, she felt the need to run to the library to use the restroom, but yet got in her car and didn't leave right away. There's that. Then we see her leaving on the Hoosier Harvest Store camera at 1:15 and some change in some seconds. Then we know, based on the video, the drive to the library and back, and we gave her a good amount of time to go into the library and use the restroom and come back out before the return. And she still arrived 15 minutes earlier than 1:46. So there was no questioning by either side, the state or the defense, about when you went to the library, did you stop and chat with anybody? Did you run into anybody? Does it take you a long time to use the restroom? Yada, yada, yada. There was no discussion about that whatsoever, which is important because upon her return is when she claimed that she saw the 4 girls crossing the railroad bridge. That matters. So she's returning about 15 minutes earlier. So then we cut the time walked off there. Then we showed you her starting her walk for her third loop. And she is still not halfway to the Mears lot at the end of her third loop to return to her vehicle and depart, and seen on the Hoosier Harvest Store camera for the last time at 2:18. She is still on the trail halfway to Mears when she's seen on the Hoosier Harvest Store camera. And that is starting her walk. She passes the Hoosier Harvest Store camera. I know this is complicated, guys, but she passes the Hoosier Harvest Store camera at 1:46. We gave her her 30 seconds to get to Mears. We gave her, I believe we gave her another 45 seconds to pull in and park, get out and start up the gravel walk to the trail, and then turn left. Now remember, she passes the camera at 1:46. Kelsey's vehicle is seen on the camera at 1:49. So there's a 2.5-minute discrepancy of both of those cars heading into the same exact position. And I wanted to show you this. Whoop, not that. Sorry. Where did it go? Hold on. Right here. This is an excerpt from Kelsey's testimony. Question, and it's been a long time, so I don't know if you'll remember, but when you pulled into the Mears lot, did you like go all the way in or part way in? Do you know? I just kind of pulled in. Okay. And did you end up having to back out, or did you? No, I just went into the spot so that I was still facing the road. So she doesn't even pull in to the Mears lot. She kind of like pulls up to the Mears lot to where if you're on the passenger side of the car, Libby would have had to have gotten out on 300. Nicole Spacek, I believe it's volume 2 that those that discovery dump is in. So, and we still have Kelsey and Betsy Blair claiming that they didn't see each other. Now, the other thing, let me see here. Let me pull it. Just to tie in the Muddy Bloody Guys walk. For those of you who didn't get to watch the vault on Tuesday, this is
try muting it.
Sorry. This is the state's bridge guys. And you know, it's very possible that we're off by a minute or two, but if you look at the time ticker, we have him passing exactly in the same, the very first image that we have is time stamped, the same as the states, where you see the nose of the black car entering the frame. He's driving down the road 300 to the CPS lot. And when we did not incorporate him pulling into the building because the building's not there. So we can't, we're not going to, we'd have to speculate on that. Then he would have to turn his car around and back in, remember, because he was hiding his license plate. So there's time in that. Did he sit in his car and get his kill kit ready? We don't know. Or did he just hop out of the car and take off because he was a man with a plan and was walking with the purpose? But I believe she parked. She said she took a drink of water, opened the door. She didn't haul ass. She didn't walk slow. She walked a normal direct pace. But again, this video was shot on a Sunday, so I'm sure traffic was minimal. I'm sure on a Monday there was probably more traffic than, you know, what we're seeing here. But his entry and his exit is in wide open spaces. And again, why would he feel the need to do this route when he still had to enter the trailhead out in the wide open right in front of the Freedom Bridge? He could have parked where he said he parked and entered much faster with less time of being visible.
I'm getting that address for you.
Okay. So this is his entry up into the main area of the trailhead, what I call the main trailhead out by Freedom Bridge. The Mears trailhead is much smaller. But I mean, this is a good distance. I mean, people travel this road. I mean, shit, Sarah Carball said she drove it 4 times that day.
So I found it, but I also reread the bit of the screenshot. One sec. They have trail cam footage of Ross Larimore on the Mears property. So it's not necessarily this guy's trail cam.
Sees through. That's what sees through says. What if he had no intention to kill anyone that day though, and it was just a crime of opportunity? What if it was? That's what I said after the fact. By the time, I'm sorry, but 3 beers with a grown man, I don't care if he's 5'4" or not, that's not a lot of alcohol. And by the time, with adrenaline, sweating, by the time he got out on 300, and would he not be a frenzied mess? And then Kathy said when she got home from work, he was asleep on the couch. That is not normal behavior. Well, go ahead.
Especially wearing all those layers.
Right.
Especially wearing all those layers. He's going to be sweating out his ass.
Mm-hmm. But look at this walk. He's walking right out in the open when he would have crossed and came out right here where he's at right now, where you see those bricks laid. He would have came across Freedom Bridge if he would have parked just directly on the other side of it and would have had less time walking out in the open if he was so concerned about people seeing him. Michael Osbrook, I believe the majority of them are from the Frank. No, I think that they are from the Frank's memo. The depositions, those were all attached. If All Eyes is still in here, she can answer. I haven't got to go through all of them yet. But I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to fast forward this onto, we are at the library now. It's 1:23. We are waiting because Betsy Blair went inside to use the restroom. Lindsay said some of them are trial exhibits. So now we're driving back, and just so you guys know, we did not edit this time. We left the trails after Betsy Blair did her first 2 loops. We left the trails when the state said she left to go to the library. Oh, Jerome, you're fine. Hello. She left the trails in this video, and it's timestamped when the state said she did. However, we did the drive to the library. Well, I didn't. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want her harassed. She lives locally. But we gave her the time to go to the bathroom. Obviously, we were roughly estimating. So we just did the drive back, and that giving her the time to use the restroom, that gets her back to the Mears Trail about 15 minutes before the state said she returned. Which then, see, 1:28:53 is when she's returning, which the state claimed that she returned at 1:46. Now, what we do is we go to the Mears lot, which it takes her about 30 seconds to get here. Oh, All Eyes says it doesn't have the Franks or the motion to correct error exhibits.
I sent you a screenshot of where it is on a map.
Here I was getting all excited because I'm still in like volume 4. So I haven't gone through all of them yet to know what is in there. Okay, so here's the important part on this trek right here for me is the way that we have her, we stop the clock and we restart the clock. We restart the clock about the same time that Betsy Blair would have started her third loop. Now the Fitbit changes things. We don't know if her Fitbit was synced to her cell phone for timing or what. I don't trust the Hoosier Harvest Store cameras. Okay. Right here. She's walking up to the main trail. This would be about the time the state claimed that she started her third loop. Now, remember, 1:46, she's returning. She's really getting to Mears at about 1:47 because of the 30-second drive from passing the camera to here. So if they want us to believe that Betsy Blair and Kelsey German did not see each other at the Mears trailhead, and they want us to believe that the girls were behind Betsy Blair, how is Rick Allen on the first platform for Betsy Blair to see him, but Dr. Wallace says Rick Allen claimed he was sitting on the bench at the Mears entrance when the girls got there and he followed them? This bench right here is where Dr. Walla claimed Rick Allen said he was sitting, lurking,
lying in wait,
and followed the girls. How did that happen if he's on the first platform? Let's see if All Eyes answers. Chester, I'll pop it up if All Eyes answers. Chester, I personally think the clothes are very significant. And according to Dr. Silkman, there was a lot of testing, especially on the seminal fluid. That could have been done, that wasn't done. And this day and age, in a high profile case like this, there really could have been MVAC testing done on the clothing.
And you see the fact that there was seminal fluid on the clothing. You can't just be screaming, demanding answers. I just look. I'm never going to be a parent. I'm not a parent, but
I don't
mean, if it was
believe
my niece, yeah,
I don't believe there was seminal fluid on the clothing. I mean, there could have been. Now the stuff in the water, no. I think that stuff's probably too far gone, to really get any kind of good DNA from those that were in the creek. But the clothes that were on Abby, I mean, the MVAC testing would be a more comprehensive, thorough test to see what they did miss. I mean, she took clippings and she tested different areas of the clothing. And a lot of the areas that she tested, were significant, things that, you would expect to find DNA if someone was dressing or somebody was touching or that sort of thing. But the fact that there's just absolutely, and then on top of that, I'm sure the defense knows, but we don't know whose DNA that was taken was actually compared to the DNA that was at the scene. We just don't know that. Jerome, what are you talking about tomorrow on your show? Oh, yeah. Are you talking about Stephen Avery's case? 10 years since the release of Making a Murderer. Has it really been that long? God.
Oh, man. I actually had a really good talk with someone who has kind of a whole different take on the case. Who believes Alan's guilty, but actually believes that Walla seemed kind of reluctant. I don't know. But she also seemed really off when she testified, like smiling at the wrong times and stuff. But she also seemed to not understand the gravity of the situation.
Oh, wow. Now, for some reason, I feel like it seems longer since Eric's been gone. Eric Cozy was a creator, and he covered. He did extensive coverage on the Stephen Avery case, and he died unexpectedly, I believe, of a heart attack.
Hey, Amy, I might have to go. My everything's kind of like just borking up for me right now, so
Okay.
I might have to drop.
I'm gonna pull that that image up that you sent. So text me later. Yeah, I think her signal is dropping. So what do you guys want to talk about next? Now that we've gone through, any opinions on the timing on Rick Allen being on the bench and on the first platform at the same time? Because we know that Libby took the photo of the bridge at 2:05. If you believe the phone data and the image on the phone, there was nobody on the bridge. And if you believe the state's theory that the girls were walking behind Betsy Blair, how was Rick on the bench when they arrived and he followed them? Well, the thing about the timing, that's another timed walkthrough that we're going to do, because Rayleigh's group, according to Bree Wilbur, she took a photo at 12:25 of the Freedom Bridge. And then when they get to the we don't know the order. We don't know the order of the photographs that Bree took of the bridge, because Rayleigh testified that they didn't go down the Niche Trail to the water. They actually were at the edge of the north end of the bridge and went down the side of the bridge, down the hill on the north end to the water, and went up underneath the bridge. And if they were down there for any length of time, there's a good possibility that Rick approached the bridge, walked out on the platform, and came back, and they never seen him. But based on the times and the routes, it's almost, we just don't understand how Betsy Blair claims that she didn't see the group of girls. Oh, there she is.
It's all right. I'm literally just hopping on to say that I don't know what's going on with my signal or whatever, but it keeps dropping, so I might be if I go again, I'm going out for good.
Okay.
Sorry if I missed anything important.
Nope, you didn't.
But have you talked about Richard Allen's call to his dad?
No, I haven't. You can, and I know that All Eyes can. I have not gotten to that portion of the volumes yet.
It's heavy.
So yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe that it's like, wow, kind of tells you. I mean, go ahead.
He's aware of what's happening. I have to bring up the exact pages here on my laptop, because if I click out of this, everything goes screwy. But like, no, he basically tells them he's not sure what he's gonna say, in that he says he can't contact. He doesn't want to have contact with his wife or his mom anymore, because he doesn't know what he's gonna say, and he's basically aware that he's being something really screwed up is happening.
Yeah,
he's out of his mind.
I did see, I think it was somebody posted in my group. It was actually a screenshot from All Eyes, where the screenshot discussed him saying he doesn't know how long he's going to be lucid. And then
apparently a couple hours later, he's making that one call to Kathy where he's really fucked up. Oh yeah, and then he tells his dad it's about the election. I think it's about the election. I can't help but agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that.
I sent you the address, Google Maps picture of where it is via text, and then I also sent you the address itself. But I don't know. It's really close to the creek, though. It's really close.
Yeah, I see that. Main Street.
Do you need me to email it?
No, I got it. I can't pull it up on here because out of a text, but if you send me the address, because I'm reworking my Google Earth map, and I can pin it on there, and that's what I can do with all of these locations in town. All of the cameras, I can pin those, and then we can go over it. I did want to bring up the deposition of Elvis Fields. Put a 1 in the chat.
Comedy.
Put a 1 in the chat if you've read it, and make it an 11 if you've read it and you believe he's as ridiculously of a moron as he's pretending to be, and just put it up a.
I mean, he's ridiculous.
Well, I noticed, like, again, paying attention to the details. He literally is not answering any of the questions, and then on other things he elaborates. He's a mess, and I'm frustrated because he's allowed to be a mess. And
there's the address.
I've heard it both ways. That there's nothing really seriously wrong with him, and then I've also heard that he's, he has deficiencies. I would agree that he's in the middle range, maybe below middle range. But I really wonder. I think I made a post about it last night, about the fact that Taylor Hornaday, in her deposition, she's talking about the nickname that they give Rod Abrams, and they're calling him Rod Chester, and they're making fun of him. The Vinlanders are. And then she's asked about this Dougie, who's at these Vinlander meetings or whatever type of the Thanksgiving dinner. And the way that Dougie is described sounds exactly like an Elvis Fields. And was Dougie a nickname given to Elvis Fields? And somebody else, offered him a patch and a jacket, and they didn't see him no more. You want me to read the phone call? Let me see. I don't know if I can pull. Let me see. I know All Eyes posted it. You're talking about the phone call with the dad, right? Gotta see. I
sent it to you via text if you just want to lift up your phone and read it. It should be. Well, I sent you 3 pages of it, not the full thing, but it's what's important.
Okay. We'll do it that way. Sorry, guys. I have been really working hard trying to get my laptop set up. Okay. So it starts off, this is page 4, and you said this is the important part, correct? Because I haven't got to read all of this yet.
Yeah, this is the part that's really, the part that basically these pages were the meat of it.
Okay, so this is page 4. This is Rick Allen on the phone. He says, I need to talk to Dad. Oh, just a minute. Okay. What's up? Hey, Rick, what's up? Hey, I'm sorry if I woke you up, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to be lucid. I wanted to talk to you because you're the strongest person I know. Are you there? I'm still here. Okay, just don't say anything. Let me get through this. Okay. I feel like they just about killed me. They're just about was here, but like I'm about to lose my mind. I feel like talking to Kathy and Mom is killing them because I can do it. I can't do it without being emotional. So I want you to let the entire family know that I love them. They know me. They know that I would never do something like I've been accused of. I've got to make a decision, and that decision is not to make phone calls to them anymore. And it's not because I don't love them. It's because I honestly, going forward from this point, I don't know what I'm going to say. Do you understand? Yes. Okay, so a couple other things. I tried to tell Kathy that I don't want money. I'm afraid you guys are going to get extorted. I'm afraid someone's going to tell you that I need money, or they're going to make me call and tell you that I need money, and I don't. I want Kathy to know that I know how bad she wants to give me money. I know how bad you will all want to give me money. I don't need money. I've got coffee. That's what I want you to know. I've got coffee. I don't know if there's drugs or anything in it. I don't know if the Kool-Aid, I don't know if the Kool-Aid, I don't know if anything has drugs in it anymore. Here's what I know. I don't think I'm being physically tortured. I think I've been mentally tortured for the last 5.5, 6 months. I think they're feeding me every day. Mentally, I feel like I'm in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and I don't know. Oh yes, I'm on camera, or I am on camera, or I am supposedly I am on camera 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I just want you to know that. So anything that I say or do should have been on camera at some point. So if somebody tries to say I did or said something that I didn't, you still there? Yes, I'm still here. Thank God. Okay. So that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I wanted to tell you was that you are always and will always be my father. I'm going to cry. Nobody else ever was. And I'm sorry for the way that I've kind of distracted myself from you after I had my breakdown or whatever it was. But in my eyes, you've never been real emotional. And I guess I felt since that happened to me that you've been trying so hard. Mechanical voice, you have 1 minute remaining. You still there? Yep, I'm still here. Okay. You've been trying so hard to. You've been wonderful to me, is what I'm trying to tell you, Dad. And one more thing before I forget. Do not let somebody get you to pay for an attorney, because I'm not going to do it. They're not going to extort money from you guys. I tried to think of a way. I tried to think of why they would do this. And the only thing I can think of is there was the election right after I was arrested. That's all I know. I love you. I love the family. I want you to let them all know that I'm not going to call unless I need something. And if I need money for coffee or something, I'm going to call you. Okay. And that's those 4 pages. So he, in a moment of clarity, even knew that if they said something that wasn't on camera, not to believe it. And lo and behold, what do we have? Something on camera, something not on camera that they used to convict him.
And it was literally like 3 hours later, he makes a really fucked up phone call, like dazed and confused, and starts spewing a bunch of crap out. Like, between that time, they must have dosed him or something.
I mean, we just don't know. But you know what? The extortion thing, that's so funny, because I'm working on another. It's not. I haven't covered it on the channel, but there's another.
Oh yeah.
There's another case that I've been helping on that the mother is being extorted from prisoners in the Miami County facility with her son. They have broken his tablet, and there's no repercussions for that other than if he wants a tablet, he has to pay $250 to replace it. He's been stabbed, he's been beaten, and she has had to pay money because prisoners around him have contacted her, and I believe through social media outlets, like, for example, having a girlfriend, different outlets like that, basically threatening her that if you don't send $60 to this Cash App, he's going to go out on a life flight. And let me see here.
And he has been physically assaulted.
Yep.
And like, he has already. We know this.
the argument right now is trying to get him moved out of that area. Let me see here. See if I can just share it really quick. Okay, so I'm going to, here really quick. I'm going
I can entertain the masses.
No, I've got it right here.
Okay.
And I've looked up some of these accounts, and they are definitely, let me see here. Let me share my screen. Many of them are in Indiana. Some of them are females. Some of them are males. And she is terrified that, and we have wrote letters. I've helped her draft some letters. Another attorney that I also work with, she's helped with that stuff. We've wrote to the Attorney General. We've wrote to the warden. We have wrote to the prosecutor, the Miami County prosecutor. And let me see here, share my screen. These are images. Can you see that? Fungi, is that up on my screen?
Yes. Sorry, I had mute.
These are a list of
Cash App.
Cash App. And if you watch my screen scroll, these are all
what are we looking at? Why?
These are all extortion payments from prisoners.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Can you put this all in like a Google Doc or like a Google folder or something in the future? Just I can send it to someone. I'd like them to take a look at it.
All of these are she's paying this money, and you cannot convince her not to pay it because her son has been attacked. He has been confined. They won't, like these other prisoners, will not let him out of his cell when the doors, because all of the doors are opened at once.
She can't win.
They won't. So if he doesn't get to come out of his cell, he doesn't get to go to chow and eat. He's been beaten. His cellmate has been beaten. And she's contacted the warden. She's contacted the internal affairs. I have all of the documentation of all of that. And she's in panic mode. So Rick Allen saying that this is a thing, that if someone contacts them and says that he needs money, that is a real thing. So that's interesting that he brought that up, because this is something that, I guess, until you see it for yourself, you just don't think of things. But inside the prison walls, they have a way of manipulating.
I think I can help. This is someone whose mom contacted Amy.
Yeah, she's.
It's not Rick or Rishi.
Yeah, no, it's not Rick. I was confirming Rick's call to his dad about extortion, saying that if someone contacts them, that he's afraid they're going to get extorted. That is a real thing in the prisons, and I just showed you one case where I had a mom reach out who watches the channel, and was asking for some sort of help. And her son actually still has a post-conviction relief case to go through that hasn't even been started yet. I'm not going to say who it is. If we do decide to cover the case, I will then and go into the details of the case. It's a tragic, horrific case. And I'm not going to come down on one side of the fence or the other right now as far as why he's in prison, innocent or guilty. But the fact that this is happening, it should not be something that is allowed to go on, even though it does. But to this extent, to where someone's being stabbed and she's gone through all of the proper channels and cannot get anywhere, you know, she's, and she, with him not having a tablet, you know, she's hard pressed to communicate with him. She doesn't get to hear from him very often. And every time she does, there's been another incident. So there's that. Them taunting RA, All Eyes says, them taunting RA about his tablet. So All Eyes posted them taunting RA about his tablet, saying his fam was calling and then being like, psyche makes more sense now too. I just can't imagine the mental torture. And, you know, I was reading the other day on Reddit. I forget the name of the thread, but it's basically a thread where, you know, we are the whack, we are supporting a child killer, blah, 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 blah. And it just really pisses me off when I don't understand how some people don't have clarity on what our justice system is supposed to do and how it's supposed to work. And they see nothing wrong with a man being sent off to a maximum security prison in solitary confinement for 13 months, and not think that that's not going to mentally cause a breakdown. They can see everything that goes on those tablets. And she's documented everything, you know, and that's one thing about people that it's really hard when you have his case. This case is hard, that this particular mom of this prisoner, because the case is horrific, but his mother has documented so much. It's really hard to turn away and say, okay, what's happening here? I'm talking about with his case, not just with what's going on in the prison. And I don't know. It's going to be up to her if we go public with it. And I think right now we're trying to keep it on the down low to not ruffle any feathers so she can get him moved out of harm's way. So we'll see. Anywho, we have been on here for almost 2.5 hours, and I am going to hop off here in just a minute so you guys can enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. And I am going to continue to read these interesting exhibits that, thank God, All Eyes, you got these. It's been long overdue, and I hope that we can get the rest of them. I'm sad to hear that what's coming ahead that I haven't got to read yet isn't a part of the Franks motion, because what was it? Isn't there like 100 and some exhibits attached to the Franks motion? Like 148 or 130, something like that. I can't remember, but I know it's a chunk. Thank you, Fig. But if you guys haven't liked or subscribed tonight, please do so. Let's see here.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, and
sticking around.
Thank
you, All Eyes.
Yes, thank you, All Eyes. Oh, there I am. The
look at a parrot. Look at a parrot, guys.
Yeah, he's
just peeking it. I'm sorry.
What's that, funny. Well, look here. Let me turn my camera just so you guys can see this. I don't know what it is about my laptop, but look here. See my tree? I have a beautiful white tree. I like white trees. I don't know why. But look over here. See the cat?
Hey, it's a cat.
Yeah, that's Jacoby. He likes, I think the keyboard's warm. So that's.
I came up with a full name for my barn cat. Her first name's Shitten, like, kid. but her last name's Bricks, so she's shitting bricks.
Oh my God.
I love her so much. She's so smart. She doesn't go in the possum trap or anything, even if we put food down there. And she's just
Oh,
brilliant.
don't do that. Maybe one day she will. Don't do. Oh
No, she knows. She knows not to. That's the thing. She's amazing. The cat doesn't bother the parrot.
Oh,
I don't know, if anything. Probably the other way around.
They share, like, if in the mornings when I get up, I have a ridiculous routine. I get up at 3:00 in the morning. So I have time to get all my critters situated. And after I get ready for work, I go downstairs, I go out in the family room, I open up the door to his cage because he likes the concept of walking. So I open up the cage and I go out into the kitchen and I go, "You gonna come see me?" I said, "Come and see me." And I'll say, "Rocky." And he normally will answer me. But I let him walk from the family room out into the kitchen. And when he gets to the kitchen doorway, he'll always like poke his head in and he'll go, "Yoo-hoo," like he's on the scene. And then he walks over and the cat, I have 2 cats, him and the cats and the Yorkie all share the water bowl. And then he likes to run them away from their own dog and cat food. So no, they do not really bother each other, but my Yorkie sometimes will get after him and he does not back down. He looks like
he's self-aware that there's a stream going on. He knows he's popping off the side right there. He really does.
Oh, trust me. If he's in a room that we're not in, he does not shut up. He laughs, he screams, he mimics a cat fight. He sings. He does he tells all the dogs in the neighborhood, "Shut up." Tells the dogs.
Oh my God.
I mean, he says everything. You would never know it by this. But if you walk out there and you put your cell phone down like on a table and you turn the camera towards him and walk away, he says nothing. He knows. Like you're not getting me on camera. He knows. What are you doing? You come see me?
Wait, what is PREA? Travis Williamson, Esquire, said, "One of the main things that motivates state prisons to pay attention is PREA.
PREA.
PREA. No, I don't know what that means. Sorry, buddy.
I feel like it has something to do with public relations. Is it public relations, Travis?
Because, yeah, I need, because that's kind of what I had in mind when I was saying put together that file, because I think I might know someone who might be interested in taking that on. Prison reform, maybe?
I don't know. Travis, can you clarify?
Or else?
Kayla says, do you relocate them? Are you talking about
the possums? I relocate them in a sense.
Into the afterworld.
No, let's not. I'm not going to explicitly say that.
Well, the picture that you sent me the other day of that possum, bye.
He was perfectly alive and everything. He wasn't even in a cage.
Yeah, not yet.
No, I was like, oh, look, there's a cat in my barn.
Oh, Mother Dragon says, "I love the video of the Yorkie looking through the fence to the neighbor's dog." Oh yeah, she does. She's a stalker. She runs right over there. Prison.
PREA is Prison Word Elimination Act. I just don't want to get your
prison.
Yeah, I don't want to get your channel flagged or whatever.
Prison Essay Elimination Act. I have no idea what that even means.
Research time.
Yeah. I have a. That's not a good thing. Travis, is that what that means? And what is that exactly?
I apparently.
Yes, miscellaneous, and Laura got it up above. Okay, so
I love that you pronounced Lara correctly.
Is that right?
Well, it is every time I've seen that.
I was going to say, Laura. Yeah, Laura. I like that. That's pretty.
Might be from Dr. Zhivago.
April Nunya, has anyone seen Percocet or Percocet? No, but I talked to her about a week ago.
Percocet.
Percocet, no. Percocet.
James Chadwell, is he young bridge guy? I think that's Daniel Pearson.
Yeah, I think Daniel Pearson is young bridge guy.
Larry Long. Oh, Lara. Oh, Lara for you. Okay. Okay, well, now I'm even more confused because I don't want to say so. Never mind.
I'm going to have to look.
Let's just put it this way. My name's Laura, too. My name's Laura, so I get really confused.
Yeah, she's okay.
Can you show Daniel Pearson's photo again with the young bridge guy photo for anyone that hasn't seen it before?
Oh, I don't know if I have it on here yet.
How dare you?
I don't have it on here at the moment, guys. I'm sorry. I have
She's failed us all.
What I'm trying. So I plan on. I am uploading.
External hard drive.
I'm up. Well, yeah, we have to get there. But I've uploaded quite like all of Ashley's massive research on her case, all of that stuff. I've gotten over to the person who. Oh, let me put my website in. I forgot about that. If you guys haven't seen the website yet, we just launched the website about 2 weeks ago. But I'm trying to get everything off my old laptop into the Dropbox. So, and that way I have access to it on here. And that's one, just think of the chaos, guys. My phone that I've had now for 4 years that has everything and anything on it. My screen does not work. So every single thing that I've created over the years, I've updated passwords, I've changed passwords, done 2-step verifications. So having to log in to everything and redo passwords has been a nightmare. So because I don't have access to my passwords on my old phone, and I did not transfer everything over to my new phone because I want to be able to have a fast, speedy phone. Right now, I've been working on a phone that is just got, I have to delete things every other day because it's telling me I'm out of storage. So
you can't see me right now, but I'm currently like just bashing my head against the wall.
Funny story though, before we go, about your freaking possum when you sent me that picture. So when I was a little girl, I had a friend who lived down the street, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she started babysitting for some people in the neighborhood. And one of the people that she babysat for had 2 little girls, and one of them became like one of my really best friends. And back then, you could get up in the morning and hop on your bicycles and just run the neighborhood and not have to worry about anything. So she lived like around the corner, about 10 houses down, and her mom would drop, it was in the summertime, so we didn't have school. Her mom would drop her and her little sister off at our house in the morning, and my mom in the summertime would babysit. And we got up one morning, and her bicycle was at home, and my mom said that we could go down to her house and get her bicycle so we could go ride bikes. So I can't remember how we got there, if I doubled her down or if I rode and she walked, whatever. We got to her house, and she opened up her garage door, and her bicycle was in the back of the garage. And she went to get the bicycle out, and I was kind of like standing in the middle of the garage. And when she rolled her bicycle out, she knocked over a plastic trash can. And there was a fudging psycho possum in this trash can, and I lost it. This thing like didn't know what to do. It started running all around the garage, and I was trying to get in her garage door into her house, and I couldn't get the door open, and I was trying to like hold myself up on the doorknob. So it was a terrifying flashback, Laura, when you sent me that picture of that freaking possum. I was like, no thanks.
So it's a funny cat, right? Oh no, my neighbor apparently told me about a raccoon that someone she knows caught that was 25 pounds. Like I don't think you understand how large that is.
That's a big fat
for raccoon. It's like like a small dog. Oh shoot, I'm breaking up.
One of the girls that I used to coach, she lived on a farm.
I love you all. I don't know. I'm probably gonna disconnect.
No, we can still hear you. But she had a raccoon as a pet.
Oh, and cool.
She would always send me pictures of it, and like this damn thing would sit and hold food like a person. And I mean, he'd sit on her lap and she'd share food with him. And I know he liked hot dogs, but I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. And then I see Andrea Burkhart on X with her, kitten updates and the little baby squirrel. I'm like, oh. Yeah, she has like there was a stray cat outside that had
Man, I thought I was going to get some kittens. I'm sorry. You broke up. Sorry.
Oh no!
I thought I was going to get some kittens. I thought my barn cat was pregnant. Turns out she was just fat.
Mm.
I was so excited. I thought I was going to get kittens. God.
Well, that's how I got Mr. Jacoby over here. He was a stray kitten, and him and I'm assuming it was his sibling were underneath our shed, and I trapped him. And then Mike tried to make me get rid of him, and I cried, and then he let me keep him. So, oh my gosh,
armadillos.
Trump, are those? Do they tear up your property, or are they just mean?
I don't know, but you can kick them like if they go into a ball, right? It's kind of fun, right?
Ooh, Fig says raccoons make great pets, but can also carry a near incurable type of ringworm. Ooh.
What were they doing with that phone?
Before the bodies were officially found.
Huh.
See,
because if they were using it around 10 o'clock.
Well, I know that Michael had said that, the backlight on the phone was coming on and off, like when you pick up your phone and you shake it and it wakes up. The backlight on the phone and those on and off backlight incidents on the phone data didn't occur with any incoming event on the phone, like a text message or a phone call. They're just random, as if the phone was being handled by human hands. That is concerning. So I just know that I don't want to go down a conspiracy theory route, but I know that we've gone through the scanners.
Do it.
And I had someone from law enforcement look at them, and they were going to try to decipher if the transcripts were wrong. And they never sent me back anything stating that we had them incorrect. So I know that we had a lot of different departments using air traffic that day, but there's enough in there to decipher certain events that we can. Can you hear her? Here she is again. You're so demanding. Go on. there are certain things that we can connect to actual events that have been discussed, talked about, that correlate with the scanner. And the Brad German incident of having collapsing, like Kelsey stated. And you know what? I need to put together, now that I have a fast functioning system and I can start working on doing more videos for the channel. Just the different explanations of what Kelsey claims she did within 2.5 hours, between washing a truck, going to lunch with her friends, going to lunch with her boyfriend downtown, taking a shower, getting ready for work at her boyfriend's house after she claimed she was getting ready for work when Libby came in.
I wish I could be that efficient. I wish I could.
Yeah. And then she watched a movie with the boyfriend's dad. Then she went to work. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, Dan DeCane. I'm still got my eye on that guy.
There yet.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna shut up now. You guys will all we're gonna go and we're gonna think about chickens.
Yeah.
And I think that you should do like an exit video. Like I could get you a clip of chickens, so you could just have that play at the end of every stream.
Yeah, we can alternate that with see if I can get some audio of the main man over here talking crap. Yeah, you.
I love him so much. On behalf of everyone in the chat, I have to say that.
All right, guys. Well, make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and watch for some upcoming lives. I know we got the vault coming up, and we will be doing a presentation on that forever long Amber Alert case. You guys are going to be like, what? That case is really crazy, really crazy. All of the things that transpired, and I think we're going to do it on Tuesday. And I've got, we have a 911 call. We have some interviews that I'm trying to pull in, and we have a very nice presentation for that. So if you see that, make sure you hit notify, when you hit the subscribe, hit the bell. That way you get notified of all things. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.